Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we talk about one thing and one thing only. That's what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers and operators like you can survive and thrive. It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. It's beautiful outside in Austin, Texas. We're coming to you live from an undisclosed location. There's a lot happening in here. There's even more happening out there on the free and open internet. One of Shopify's product developers released something that he vibe coded on the internet that turns your camera into a visual search bar. Harley Finkelstein drops a brand new term I've never heard of, but gives me a hope for this next era of merit-based commerce inside of agentic shopping. Weight Watchers got an incredible glow up from bankruptcy to hawking GLP-1s and making America look beautiful all over the place. And Dr. Pepper took a viral ad happening completely apart from them inside of TikTok and turned it into their college football national championship advertisement. There's a lot happening as always. I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Get in here.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm not even sure I mentioned the best part, Colin. We've got TJ, founder of the Outgoing company, Audi, coming on here in just a few minutes. I think that might be the best part of this whole shebang today.
I'm pretty pumped. I've been looking into TJ's brand, and it's pretty remarkable what he's doing. And I have so many questions for him.
I do too, because I think he's solving a real problem with such a real social performance. That's a brand new word and category for me, but I think we all feel in 2026, yeah, actually, I do need social performance. I do feel some issues there, and addressing that, productizing that, super smart. I can't wait to talk to this guy.
Put that in a can and start selling it at bars. You'll get
exactly.
I'm like, dude, you need to get this out of powder right now. Let's get this into a
Exactly. I think every pregame, before you go to the event, everybody needs to be downing Audi. That's my take. I think what this guy's doing is super interesting. And come to find out, this is his first launch into e-commerce. He comes from a complete tech background. Yeah. So I think we've all got a lot to learn from this guy. It'll be a very interesting conversation. First up on the deck today, and I always forget to play this, but I want to. We got to go to the news. There is a product maestro named Gil at Shopify who dropped something on the feed today I thought was very incredible to me. To me, Mark Zuckerberg should buy it right now and put it inside of his glasses. He vibe coded, Gil of NYC, vibe coded with Google Lens, a mobile app that uses Shopify's catalog API, GPT-5, Replit, Claude. And what he does here is it enables your camera to identify products and eventually, or not eventually, instantaneously be able to purchase them through chat and through Shopify's integration with OpenAI. Yeah, show us this video here. Look at this happen.
This is so cool.
So for those who are listening right now, he's cropping an image inside of his camera live. It brings up the Ridge wallet. And then the video shows going straight to Shopify Supply and buying said thing. And now he's going to a new product inside of his office, wherever he is right now. This to me was really incredible. And not only that, the guy vibe coded it. He told it to happen, and it happened. Colin, when you saw this, what was your takeaway? What was your reaction first blush?
First of all, it's unbelievable that he vibe coded this. Yes. What's probably a weekend to him. Yeah. Also, he is a super talented developer. I don't want to kind of, be like, oh, it's crazy he did this. He's extremely talented. He's one of the most talented guys in the space. So let's just preface that by saying this is also very hard to do, but he with his technical expertise did this. This is amazing. Like you said, this is so cool. I want exactly what you just said, where like Meta to buy this, put this in the glasses. And I've kind of seen myself doing this already, where I'll just basically take a photo of something, or I'll find something on the internet. I'll upload it into ChatGPT and say like, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
Where can I buy this?
Yeah.
And this is basically knocking out 2 levels of friction. Cause I don't know if you saw this, but he pushed it right to the checkout page.
Yes.
Not the homepage. So basically, you're jumping the entire funnel from discovery to checkout on a visual cue.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And I love it. To me, this kind of thing, like you said, what it does, it reduces friction. I go from, I want this thing. I don't know where it is. Where can I buy it? I want to give you money. Yeah. What is it? I like it. I don't know what it is. I don't know where to get it. And a couple of clicks, a recognition of what the thing is inside of your screen. And now I'm at checkout and I can give you dollars. I love that he built this quickly. He did it publicly. I think this is a little bit of signal here that sometimes speed and taste and just getting the thing out in the world, moving fast and breaking things, sometimes that's better than, hey, I've got an idea for a product. Let's establish a roadmap. Let's put this in committee. Let's take 6 months to get a polished version of this thing out. He showed it to me. It exists. It can work. If Zuck sees this, what I want him to do is say, hey, Shopify, hey, Gil, let's give Harley and Toby and team a giant amount of money that one cannot count, and let's make this thing happen inside of my world-changing glasses. That to me is it's palpable. One can build. I mean, obviously this guy's uber talented, but it gives me a lot of excitement about what is possible on the internet.
Yeah. And then another level to this too is if you have your Shop Pay profile already in checkout, I don't even need your address or your credit card information. I just need you to say confirm.
Exactly.
That's kind of the next evolution of this. I think he kind of needs probably some API permissions and, some more buttoned up permissions just to get that going. But that is where it becomes honestly insane.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy thing that we just accomplished, where I think 6 months ago, if you would have told that to somebody, they would have been like, you don't even know what you're talking about, dude. There's no way we're going to get there. Like, and he just made this in a weekend.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
It's wild. And I think too, you layer on top of this, of course, we've got the shop layer. We've also got what seems to be coming forth is a pair of pods with OpenAI, Joni, Sam, OpenAI trying to disrupt what Apple is doing with their AirPods. If one can just boop, buy. Just say a word. Just say a word. I don't need to type. I don't need to click. I just speak and it happens. Or inside of Zuck's glasses, I see the thing. Jarvis, what is that thing? I'm thinking,
so sick.
Exactly. Jarvis, what is the thing? Buy the thing.
Yeah.
Make it arrive at my doorstep inside of 2 hours with drones.
Yeah.
No, now we're talking about ROAS through the roof. And I think eliminating all of the friction between real life discovery and it is being delivered to my house now. That to me is incredible. And it gives me great hope for this next era of e-commerce. In that same vein, Harley of Shopify, friend of the show, who we hope to have on this show very soon. Wouldn't that be exciting? I think it would. Internet would probably go crazy. Shopify president Harley Finkelstein, he coined, I think, this phrase, merit-based shopping, and related it to agentic commerce. I wanted to read some of this article for everyone. The results in an agent, unlike the results in some sort of ad-based flow, is merit-based. I emphasize merit-based. It's not actually based on who's paid more money. And then Harley goes into an example. Last night, we did an event at the Shopify office with Tom Sachs. He's the coolest sneaker designer in the world. Tom Sachs is going to be discovered by more people because of the agentic stuff, because he doesn't have any money. He runs what's called Nike Craft, which is a division of Nike, which makes sneakers for what I would call entrepreneurs. It's not for basketball or sports. It's just for like hanging out. Tom Sachs is going to actually show up inside of AI agents, whereas before he wouldn't have showed up in some sponsored search or even inside of Google because he doesn't do SEO optimization. The products that will be found will be merit-based as opposed to ad-based. I think that's democracy. That'll level the playing field. This to me was very compelling, and it gives hope for the little guy. Shopify is arming the rebellion, truly. Well, is this way out of left field? Is this just nice thoughts, or you think there's a lot here?
There's a lot here, and also kudos to Shopify for picking a really good partner to partner with this on. Tom Sachs is an exceptional designer. If you guys haven't checked out any of his Nike designs before, they're amazing. I mean, he really does make a really cool, unique shoe, and he is kind of a genius. I think one of Nike's brightest spots right now. I would have the question of, what does merit-based mean? And how do I get my store, quote unquote, in line and in good merit so that we're able to rock and roll? I would love kind of like an SOP of like, hey, this is our merit levels, or this is how you create really good merit in terms of this new system we've built. I would have loved to kind of have seen that a little bit more baked out. And right now it's kind of just like a little bit of a black box. Hey, trust me, this is going to be merit based. But I really do love what they're doing here, and I think it's really, really smart. I do still think you kind of need the approval. So like what this is doing is saying, the robots are going to go find all the things for us. You're never going to leave the actual LLM interface itself. So you still kind of need that level of approval of like, does this item he found really work for my problem? Is this a good pull? And if it's not a good pull, like, you kind of have to keep going back and forth, but we're headed in the right direction.
I think the only thing that we can do is to have Harley on the show to discuss, what does merit-based mean? What does merit mean? I think what Adam, CEO of PostScript, brought up last week, conversational data, learning what specifically applies to you. My hope is that in this new era of e-commerce, truly the landscape is democratized a little more, and building something for someone rather than just building something in general and having lots of ad spend behind it. I hope it helps founders, marketers, all of people in the nitty gritty, down and dirty of our space. I hope it helps them win and arms the rebellion a little more. And I think in that vein, we've got somebody very exciting who has just joined the show. He's coming on here now. And this is the kind of guy that we want to hear from and cheer for, and we want to see win in 2026. TJ Bongiorno, founder of the Outgoing Company. Get in here. Get inside of this show.
Yeah. What's up, boys? Yeah, thanks for having me. First and foremost, before anything was said, Chris, that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said about me, what you said at the beginning of the show, because I was watching live. I was like, oh my God.
So you, bro. You. Hey, man, I think what you have done, and I've been seeing you everywhere, man. I've been seeing this product. I've been seeing Audi. I'm wondering, what in the world is Audi? Exactly. Exactly.
I love that.
I get on your page and I start digging into it, man. And you've got these incredible descriptors: social performance, enabling people to lean away from other mechanisms of coping and allowing them to take a natural solution and productizing that. To me, this is really compelling, man. What I would love if you'd start out with is just paint for us the background and how you've come from tech and launched into the world of e-commerce. Where did the creation of this product come from? Just paint some of that background for us.
Yeah, sure, 100%. Also, again, thank you guys. Funny enough, I always say, like, being a newer founder and newer to the space, it's kind of like, it feels like there's like this club and everybody, like all the big founders and all the big operators. And I'm like, behind the carpet outside, like trying to look in. So it's cool to, I'm in, guys. I'm in.
You're in
now. But jokes aside, so first and foremost, for anyone that's unfamiliar, if you see Ramp Health over my shoulder, those skate decks, my brand we just rebranded. So Ramp Health is what we launched under and what the product was initially under for the last 2+ years. And then trademarks are important, and also just trying to improve the product and a bunch of other things that led us to rebrand to the Outgoing Co and Audi as you know it now. Chris, to answer your question directly, right? Like, how the hell did we come up with this? I am what I like to call a retired degenerate.
All right.
I was in a frat. Typical millennial, started drinking in high school and everything. Never had like what anyone would label as a problem, but just super social. Definitely went after it when I was younger. And that kind of just fell off as I got older, and just hangovers got worse, sleep apnea, this and that. And I always just kind of wanted to get better and better and better. And then on top of that, I've always been a little bit of like, I guess you would call it like a gym bro. And like with that comes protein and BCAAs and pre-workouts and creatine and everything that comes along with it. And always been kind of like into biohacking and whatnot. So you asked the question about how the hell did I go from tech into this? I was lurking on Twitter. I had started making some content about like sales and social skills. By the way, I don't know who the hell I thought I was that I could teach. Neither here nor there. We'll get back to that in a second. But the question I kept getting was like around people like being anxious going out and whatnot. And at the same time, I was getting away from drinking a little bit. And this idea kind of just formed itself from that. I would say the last piece of it too is like I mentioned the biohacking piece. I was experimenting with a lot of nootropics myself, right? So 2 of the ingredients in Audi are L-theanine and Roxolin A. Roxolin A is the active ingredient in something called Subroxy. I was taking Subroxy and L-theanine as a combo because I didn't want to take ADHD medicine. And it was a combo that worked for me. And when I would take it, as I said, retired degenerate, my brain was like, this would be pretty good going out too.
Yeah.
It's little Adderall action and drinking was a little bit of a combo. So that's kind of how it came to be. And then, the last 2.5 years has been building it, tweaking it, making it better and better, leading to, what you guys are seeing right now.
I dig that so much. Go, Colin.
TJ, I feel like we are the same exact person. I am also a retired frat star. And
yes,
I did have, those post, fraternity where you're just drinking a little too much. You're kind of going a little crazy and you're like, hey, I need something else instead of just, you touched on a little bit before, the hangovers get pretty brutal pretty quick.
Yeah.
I have been looking for your solution for so long. Can you please can this up and sell it to every bar in America?
Gotcha.
Because I can promise you, every single person who is ordering a non-alcoholic alternative at a bar would rather purchase this instead.
So I didn't know that I was going to be saying this live on the show, but we have an RTD launching in the next 2 weeks.
Look at you! Look at you!
I'm kind of. It's really nerve-wracking, to be honest, right? Like I told you, I'm new to this. This is like a whole new game. First and foremost, it is called Yapper. It's not cool. It's separate. So we got Yapper, which I'm really excited about because we're yapping, right? We're out. We're doing the thing. We're talking. That's the point. The only thing that I will say, unfortunately, you cannot put a 5-gram powder formula into an RTD.
Okay.
Not taste good. Water solubility comes into it. There's a whole bunch of things. So what we've done is we took the functional beverages that are out there already and we upgraded and then carried over as much as we could from this formula into that. So it will be, I don't want to call it more mild because it still has a bunch of punch to it, but you can have 2 or 3, whereas Audi is designed to have 1 as a pre, right? But that RTD is launching. We're launching with a cherry lime flavor. It'll be available retail only at the beginning, and then I'll add a DTC option as well. But it's crazy you guys said that, and also I really didn't think I was going to be announcing that right now. Here's a first live on Twitter.
Yes, go. Yeah. That's right. Yapper is coming. Well, I think that is so smart, TJ.
Oh my God.
I really believe at a fundamental level, the hard work of marketing is done in product development. It's done before you ever even get the thing inside of an ad account or talk about it on social media. And to me, you're catching a bunch of tailwinds right now with millennials who maybe they don't want to drink so much, but they still do want some social lubricant. Or with Gen Z or Gen Alpha, they don't want to drink as much either, but maybe they don't want to go the THC route. Maybe they want to experience some kind of other ready to drink or some formula that enables them, helps them have a good time, but is something different than their forebears would have taken. I love all of the phrases that I see on your website: thriving, unbothered, in your element, social performance, feel more at ease, stop overthinking. Who wants to do that? Me. Natural, safe formula. Do you find, I feel like we're kindred spirits, the three of us here. Do you find people that come to you and say, I want to be social, but I hate it and I never want to do it? We make plans. I regret making the plans. I'd like to get off this drug or that solution and experience something that you're offering here. Do you find people coming from that category?
Funny enough, the first time that I ever had a Facebook ad work, I wrote all the copy myself. And the hook was, sometimes you just want the plans to get canceled.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
That's right.
That's the truth.
It's really funny that you say that, because the answer is yes, very, very much so. It's a weird thing, and like something that we haven't discussed, but I talk about now, and we actually have some ads talking about this. The world got weird in the last 5 years, last 6 years. Like, there's no denying it. We can't put the Pringles back in the can. Like, just, we were away from each other for a long time. Even myself, I notice it. My patience are lower. Like, people annoy me more. I'm saying you're so stupid more. It just happened. And, you know, I'm not here to debate if it did or if it didn't or why or whatever. Like, we can throw that to the side. Yeah. In my reality, it happened. A lot of other people's reality, it happened. So we're trying to offer ways or different ways for that to be. And then also, you know, Chris, you're talking about like all this phrasing that we use. You know how it goes with D2C, right? Especially with something that's consumable. You're doing a combination of compliance, marketing, and also like trying to answer people's questions, right? So this is just iterations. We tried different things. We tried using social anxiety as a phrase. We tried using alcohol alternative, and we still do throw some of that in there. But what I found personally, and again, this is, I am not coming at this as a guru. This is purely just anecdote from running this brand for 2.5 years. People don't like to be labeled as having social anxiety, especially guys.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. Even though like we all feel it. So what you're talking about, how I'm using phrasing, I'm trying to explain social anxiety without saying the word social anxiety.
Wow.
So we're trying to elicit, you know, what do you actually feel when you're at a wedding and you get sat next to someone who absolutely sucks? What do you do? Oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy is talking about his finance job for an hour, and you're like, how do you explain that? And honestly, unfortunately, some of that is social anxiety that you're like, because people that don't have that wouldn't struggle in that situation. They just calmly like walk away, right? Whereas if you're like, oh my God, I want to kill this person, get me out of here, blah, blah, blah. Like,
oh my gosh, we were at we did 9 weddings this past 2 years.
9?
I have that exact scenario you just mentioned. I had 3 or 4 times where I was looking to my significant other, and I'm like, I don't know how to keep talking to this person because I have nothing in common with him. Like he's so, I have no idea what you want me to do. And she's like, no, just keep talking, be nice. And I'm like, okay, like we'll just keep going with this. Like,
yeah, and also like we're entrepreneurs, right? We don't have job. Like it's like a different. Like now it just gets different and more different. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna.
Are you? I'm super curious about this. Are you gonna try to raise like a Series A for this?
So I actually have investment, but it's not institutional. Cool. It's a private investor.
Got it.
He is capable of matching what any institutional investor could do, but he likes to not be mentioned or like he's there. Everyone, He's there. He's a fan. Loves the brand.
I just want this to blow up as quickly as physically possible. And so my thought is like, let's give you as much VC capital as you can physically handle.
And it sounds like, brother, you got it. You got a great product, and you got more product coming down the line, and you've got real velocity, which I love. And give us insight, TJ, on as you have stepped through this, getting into D2C, getting into e-commerce, man, what has been totally otherwise than you expected? What lessons have you learned along the way? The reason that I ask is that sometimes I get the best value and the best learnings from guys who have stepped into it, fresh eyes, and they're doing it all in real time as an operator. What's that been like on your side?
That's a really, really good question. I'll try not to be long-winded. First and foremost, I think my own ignorance of the space made me hyper-fixate on product quality.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting, right? Because now that I'm in here, like, I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but we all know there's like no ship, black hat, drop shipping, all the stuff that goes on.
Yeah, that's right.
All this stuff goes on. And like, again, you know what? Get your bag, little bro. Like, it's not my place to I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build a huge brand that exits one day, and do things as legit as possible. And also because I'm super into this stuff, like, I am not a biohacking influencer, but I am a very, very avid consumer, and I like to say an informed consumer, right? Yeah. So I think that makes me, and it put me in a really good place to like make a good product. So first and foremost, like, I made this product. I can confidently say like this formula is the most potent thing that exists on the market. And I will say that 100%. And if anybody wants to challenge that, throw it into your favorite LLM, put the formula in and ask, because like I am that confident in how. Outside of that, I will say that the biggest thing, and now that I like have this X following and I get so many questions, and you know, in my normal life, I'm like the only person that has a brand. So people come to me with like their ideas and whatnot. It seems like every single person, myself included, gets hung up on like thinking about operations, manufacturing, product development, and all that stuff. And while those are extremely important, if you look at my X timeline, I say this all the time, I think that's only 20% of it. I think 80% is marketing and letting people know about your thing. And that was completely unexpected. Like I know for anyone watching this, that's like an operator that's in the space, like you may even be rolling your eyes, but when you come into this fresh, you have no fucking idea. Excuse my language, but you have no idea, right? You don't know how important organic content is and how to create a funnel and how important landing pages are, and then messaging and avatars and all this stuff. Like you think you do, but you really, really, really do not. With fresh.
Wow. That really stands out. That really stands out. It's like Alex Hormozy always says, your biggest problem is nobody knows you exist. And and I think he would even say that still about himself. He's like, yeah, not enough people know that I exist yet. You know, which is why he continues with the outpouring of social content and such.
Casual $100 million weekend, right? Yeah. No
exactly.
But you know, you go down the street and you try to say, you know, to every Joe Schmo, you're like, you know who Alex Hormozy is? I bet you talk to 50 people, maybe 2 say yes, maybe, and they got to be within our niche, kind of. Like that's kind of a crazy. It's like a frame breaker moment where you're like, oh, that isn't true fame yet.
Even just like talking about sorry to cut you off, but like product.
No, go for it.
When you're in the trenches, you're like dreaming of 100K a month and then like $1 million a month, like in revenue and whatnot. And $1 million a month is when you're just starting to be able to say you have product market fit.
Yeah. Wow.
And you know, it's a couple hundred customers a day, right?
Yeah.
And like when you're starting this, you're like, oh my God, I can't even imagine getting to that point. And then meanwhile, once you're in it, everyone's looking at you like, little boy, you don't have the day yet. Are you crazy?
Oh my gosh.
It's funny. It's really funny, like how your frame changes so quickly and your paradigm changes so quickly. Colin, you were saying, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just wondering, I mean, your product is absolutely perfect for influencer seeding and partner kind of collaborations and partner campaigns. How are you thinking about that for 2026? Because I'm sure you got some crazy ideas. I mean, just talking to you, I have 6 million ideas that I'm running with, and I'm like, you should do all these things, but I'm sure you got some ideas.
Yeah. So I will say like last year was probably the year of figuring that out. I am not too proud to admit that I lost a lot of money on TikTok trying to figure out TikTok. Right. And when I say lost money, it doesn't mean we didn't get sales. I just got really expensive sales.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure that out and like getting like influencer seeding and getting affiliates going and whatnot. And now I feel like that expensive lesson taught me the direction in which way to go. I think it was it Cody from Jones Road that tweeted recently that they're like 40% partnership ads?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think he said that. Like we're targeting that too, right? So I'm on Collabster. I actually, funny enough, I had a really funny moment the other day. My wife watches that show Traders. Are you guys
Me too.
familiar? Yeah.
We watch it.
I'm like the, all the memes, like I pretend like I hate the show and then I'm like,
Yes.
You're watching from the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
But the other night she had it on and I was like scrolling, half paying attention, and an influencer, funny enough, like made a skit reel that was like making a cocaine joke.
All right.
And I went on their page and they had like multiple social anxiety videos, and I was like, well.
Yeah.
I reached out. They're doing a campaign for us and whatnot. But I say that story to say like that's kind of what we're doing now, right? Like I'm actually scrolling my timeline, looking for people and actively reaching out, in addition to Collapser and all the other tools that are available and like Yuka and whatnot, because I do think that what you said, Colin, is going to be the case. Like influencer and seeding it through is what's going to be for 2026, especially with all the AI coming out, right? Like people,
Right.
We're going to have to focus and double down more on real humans to offset all of the 11 Labs voiceovers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that because I mean, in my experience, the right creators or a handful of the right up and coming creators that can create some otherwise velocity and cheap CPMs that you would have not gotten on a TikTok shop or traditionally inside of Meta if you were just running your own ads. It can be a real unlock for just creating more ripples in your pond and getting your awareness out there.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
DJ, we know that you are a busy man and we appreciate you coming on the show. But before you go, would you give us 30 seconds on where people should find you, what they should do next if they want? I mean, if they feel a little social performance lackluster, what should they do and what should they be excited about coming up here for you?
I really appreciate that, and you giving me that opportunity to have the stage. So the website is theoutgoing.co. If you want to check out what we're doing, we're also the Outgoing Co, one word, on all socials. If you want to follow me, I'm at TJ_Bongiorno on X. That's where I'm most active. I answer my DMs. I check all my DMs and I reply as much as possible if you want to reach out direct. But I do want to say again, guys, thank you so much for having me on. This was awesome. It's a cool moment for me to be able to be on this and reach here. And again, thank you guys for the kind words. You're awesome.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Hey, we love what you're doing.
Go.
We love what you're doing,
it.
brotder.
I'm going to send you guys a bunch, by the way.
Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Come on. Hey,
Come on. Italian. Hey, take it.
Yeah,
We'll put it on the show.
We'll put it on the show. We'll do a live taste test on the show.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll record ourselves later once we are fully prepared for high octane social performance. How about that?
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. Also, these hats just landed this morning. So
There we go, baby.
Oh.
Love it. Love
later,
it.
guys. Thank you so much.
Hey,
I
man.
appreciate it. Have a great show.
Appreciate you coming on. Wow.
Like
That
pretty quick.
that guy's got energy, man. Don't you
Yeah.
love TJ?
The best. I mean, the amount of waves you alluded to it, the amount of waves he's riding with that brand where like, I don't know, I think it was like Paul Graham or somebody at YC was like, you don't want to try to be the person making the wave. You want to find the massive wave and just ride it. And that's how you're going to make your first $100 million.
Yeah.
He could be $100 million brand in 24 months.
That's
and I'm
incredible.
so serious about that.
That's
Like,
incredible.
The need for this is so crazy. And you see with restaurants, like the option is I'm going to get a non-alcoholic drink that's going to cost me $15 and it's going to be kind of not great. And they're going to be like, how is the drink? Do you love it? And you're like, yeah, sweet. Thank you.
Well, Colin, we have another guest who has just joined us on the show.
Oh my
and I'd like for you to lead this exchange because this is going to be my first time to get to talk to him. We've got John Shanahan here of TRX who has just joined us. John, get inside of this show. We want you in here right now.
Let's go.
I like the
this guy.
backstage black and white. The black and white.
Look at this guy. Absolutely incredible. John's an absolute legend. He is an absolute killer in the space. I've known John for forever. John, thank you for being on the show. You're the man.
Sure. I feel left out without a nice little mic here. I'm going to have to.
It's authentic, John. It's authentic. Yeah, Don't feel bad about that. And John,
killing the vibe.
Give us perspective on what you do day in, day out. What's going on at TRX? Just give everybody perspective on that.
Sure. So TRX are those black and yellow straps you'll see at most gyms around the globe. And our whole thing is we're an education company that sells gear. So TRX has been around for 21 years this year. And it's one of the few fitness brands that is, there's a couple unique pieces about it. One, it's very patent protected. So it's been around through ups and downs of fads. It's one of the few truly global brands in fitness. And then equally unique is we're almost as big in both consumer and commercial. So like Peloton would kill to have the TRX commercial business. And Matrix, which is a huge machine manufacturer, would love to have a consumer business. So there's not a lot of fitness brands that kind of hit each of those boxes. And also most people just know the product because they see it in all their gyms.
What stands out to me, John, I remember TRX from many years ago. When I was in college, I played football at Texas, and they're always acquiring many very expensive pieces of equipment for us to get all the meatheads underneath it and push and grunt and get bigger and stronger. What I hated working with so much was the TRX straps because they were quite often the hardest thing for me to deal with in the gym. I mean, obviously I was a big guy, but I find it so unique that you have framed this for us at the front. You guys are an education company that sells gear. That to me is really outstanding because you're not just putting equipment on the market and you're going to put some fancy influencers behind it. You guys have really come into this top down, brain down. How can we make people healthier and stronger? And also, by the way, we sell some equipment that you can use at your home or at your gym in order to do that. Has that always been the mission on the TRX side? We start from education first.
Yeah, and that came out of necessity. Randy Hetrick, the founder, did How I Built This, and he kind of dives into that. But really, it's like you have a piece of nylon that is very complex to use. So you have to go in and show, like, what do you do with it? How do you use it? What's proper form? And all of like the exercise science behind it was really like from day one, Randy had to go out and do it and then kind of built like the education team. It was interesting too, just like thinking about the operators are probably listening to this. What I find fascinating about TRX is because it's been around for 20 years, there's this whole wave of people who adopted it early on, and those who are still within the fitness industry, because the fitness industry, has kind of changed a bunch over the 20 years. But the people who are still in the industry, they're now running like the education groups at large gym chains in different places. And so you have these like mega fans who are like, my first job was because of TRX, or my first, XYZ was because of TRX. And so they want to bring in TRX even more. So you have this like crazy cycle now happening where, there's tons of, most people in the fitness industry know who TRX is, but you also have like really high level, powerful people who want more of TRX in their spaces. And they remember like, oh, it was one of the best courses that I ever went through. And so it is that thing of like, you're always building brand, you just don't know where the touch points are. And it's been fascinating to kind of see those work as well.
Wow. I also want to commend you guys too. My father-in-law has one of the nicest offices downtown in Charlotte for their company. And you guys did a beautiful TRX full equipment build out in that office. and it's unbelievable. They're like, yeah, our office and a couple other offices have full access to that. And I'm like, oh, this is a luxury gym. It's like 2 floors down from him. Absolutely unbelievable you guys did that. It's so beautiful. That's an aside. I also
people don't know. We don't just sell the strap. We have like 250 SKUs, right? So we sell like the steel racks that go in those gyms, like you're talking about. And so when somebody comes in, they're like, I love TRX, I'll get the straps. And then we show them like, well, we have these like 5 other things. And it's like, oh, I can do literally an entire gym, whether it's getting the workout within a gym on the straps or, I can do the whole steel thing. We have, the commercial business is broken down like that. You have the big key accounts like gyms, Planet Fitness, like the big gyms. But then you have commercial, residential, hospitality, hotel. Like there's a whole other world of people who are leaning into wellness. That's the other interesting thing right now is there's a huge, just like macro wellness trend. We kind of sit right in the middle of that in a lot of ways between strength training and everything else going on in the fitness industry.
Just a little upsell there. Came in for a strap and you get an entire gym.
Now we got to ship it though. We got to ship all that steel. Oh, yeah. There's the other piece of it.
Yeah. That's true. It's true. You got to pad that price a little more. That way, that shipping just gets included there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Colin.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, so I think you and I talked about this briefly offline, a little bit about how you guys are experimenting with AI, some stuff you guys have been doing with AI for the actual TRX brand. I know you've already had some wins. Maybe you can talk about them. It's okay if you can't, but would love to hear how you guys are thinking about kind of AI with the brand itself as we go through this year.
Yeah. So I distinctly remember the Will Smith spaghetti versions of AI a long time ago. I mean, I was in Midjourney. I was in the Midjourney Discord like when it launched, and I was like, what can I do with this? Trying to figure some stuff out. And so I've really stayed close to like what's going on there, how can I use it, ways I can use it. And so it wasn't until probably like the middle of last year, a couple of the tools started giving outputs that I was like, oh, okay, I can see it now and how it would actually be like near production ready. And then, but the one thing that still to this day, and I'm convinced it'll take still even more time to go on there, is it's very hard to properly render the straps. And especially because talking about people who love the brand, there's a huge group of people who've done our education who, if we post something with bad form, anything's wrong, strap length, all kinds of stuff, they'll call us out, rightfully so.
Wow.
So we have to get it really right. And so then as we're coming to the New Year's, Super Bowl of fitness really is that December, January timeframe when people kind of kick into gear. And it was like, all right, how do we do a campaign that we can really leverage AI? And the balance that we found was like, I know the restrictions of what I can do with AI retain as far as it goes from the straps, but I need some way to like explain this stuff. So the campaign that's out now blends those two things together. So we were able to use an AI model that we called like the gym scientist, and like we made up this character where he's never claiming to do like actual science or actual personal training. So it's like, we're not taking any of those jobs. But then in order to display and demonstrate the straps, we just shot with live models. And then we had the scripts written in a way that we could have the AI kind of speak to the person on a screen. That way, we weren't trying to get into a scenario where it's like, do we fake the AI standing next to somebody? It was basically like, all right, all the restrictions of AI, how do I work around those to then get to the ultimate output, which is I need a good format to explain the straps to a normal person. And then also create iterations out of that. As you know, you get to crank out iterations on this stuff, whether it be for paid media or for, we've leaned in a lot in connected TV in the last year. So we've done some linear campaigns. Now we're doing more connected TV. So it's like, all right, we need TV quality production look. How can I accomplish that with AI without having to constantly shoot new video? And that combination of the two is working out really well right now. So it's a good way for us to make iterations, explain things, but then also still stay like authentic to the users, users models, form, function, all the education pieces of it. And that has been huge. So it's like we use other AI tools for a bunch of other stuff, but this is the first time where it's like, no, it's a front and center. I mean, we're making like the emails that we lay out now use the AI models faced in a couple different places to be like, oh, word bubble things. And so it's been a cool way to really explore that world.
What I love about what you're saying here, John, is that the way you started that whole conversation and soliloquy is you being inside of Midjourney in Discord, playing with this thing yourself, figuring out what works and what doesn't. Through that process, discovering, the straps are really hard to get right. How can we implement, as these tools develop, how can we do something that's fitting for our product and our audience, while also not having to reshoot a new studio, $50,000 every time we want to get something out the door? That to me is compelling, because I think some at the lower end in our industry, they might just think, John, he just sits in his office all day and he works on his pecs and he smokes cigars. He's VP of marketing. He's a big dog, but you're in there. You got your eye on the ball. You're testing all of the tools. And then you and your team are coming up with something that is a winning campaign with what you're doing. That to me really stands out. Do you find yourself continually testing things as you find them and seeing what could work for you guys?
Yeah, to that point, I'm looking for one of those jobs. I haven't found it yet. But like even Colin knows, it's like we use Live Recover, and it's like I know what half the text messages are. They're like going through there. It's like I haven't found a way to come out of the weeds on that stuff. But I think, I mean, to me, it is like a level. To me, it's like founder style energy, where it's like I want to know about this thing so I can do it as well as anybody else. I am going to make sure somebody else can do it better than me, but I want to understand like first principles type of stuff, where it's like, all right, I know what the problems are, I know what the solutions are, I know I can speak to it. And yes, if I could actually dedicate 8 to 12 hours to just go do this myself, I could, but in reality, I should be doing other things. So how do I then kind of make sure that goes from there? And I think the other piece of that is, it's done by an amazing team that we have here. And we've really built that over the past couple of years, but it's like, you can't tell them like, go do an AI thing that explains all this stuff, and I don't care how it gets done. Like, to me, that's a piece of it, is there's a realistic expectation that I can set, because I know I can't just say, go make a thing and, do it for $0. So that's a big piece too, is being able to like, not only articulate what it is, but also understand the restrictions of certain technologies.
Wow.
I dig that.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, tell us, John, we know you're a busy man. Many cigars to be had today in the office. No, I'm kidding. Man, as you look into 2026 and beyond, what I'd love for you is just take 30 seconds, take a minute, and tell us what's most important to you guys, any exciting things that are coming up, and more importantly, those of us like myself who need to get back on the straps for our office or at home, et cetera. Where can we find you, and what should we be looking for in the new year?
Yeah, I mean, the most exciting thing to me is we have kind of set the stage this year to really explain the product to what I would say is like the non-fitness enthusiast audience. So like fitness enthusiast, like yourself, somebody who's been to the gym, they kind of know the product. There's that audience that knows the product, might not know how to take it to another step. So like we now have a platform for that. The biggest thing to accomplish with the gym scientist was like, how do we take a person that might have seen the straps, never want to touch them, but put them in their house and kind of use them? And so I think we have kind of found this platform, not just for the strap product, but for like the 3 other hero products. They all kind of fit under there. And so then it just becomes about programming, education, and making something like fun and interesting, which is like the best part of, a role in social. Because it's like, all right, how do I make this thing fun, interesting, and kind of tap into the current trends? So that to me is like the big thing. And then, we'll launch new programs all year. So we'll do like at-home bodyweight programs, hybrid training programs for people who train for things like High Rocks. Like then it becomes all about content and then fitting it into the platform that we have. So that for me is the most exciting part coming up for us this year, and continue to test all the new tools that are coming, and whether it be like something that makes the website that much more fun to shop, or something that gives us more abilities to kind of educate and explain the product around there. The speed that all these video generation tools are coming out with is wild. And so it's really cool to be on the kind of bleeding edge of that stuff.
Wow. John Shanahan, VP of Marketing, TRX, an education company that also sells gear. Man, we really appreciate you joining the show. We're going to clip this. We've got to get this one out. I think everybody needs to hear that, especially those of us who are leading departments and teams. Yeah. John, we appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to talking again.
Thanks, guys.
On today.
So
got some hitters.
We've got hitters today. Man, that was really, I don't think I would have thought about TRX as an education company first, but that does make sense for health, wellness, gym, upgrading your life. How do I do it? I've got so much available to me in the market when I shop on the internet. What do I do? What's most fitting for me? I definitely fit inside the category of what he discussed. Someone who's familiar with the straps, but maybe not so sure what to do next. Let's get them inside of their house. Very interesting. See how they're using AI to inform and educate this year.
And we didn't even touch on it at all, but I mean, TRX is a prime example of a company that could, and I think they're going to crush in real life activations in 2026. Because when you think about all the stuff, you think about, working out with a buddy, you think about all the things that they're offering now. That's it. That's an in-person, get me fired up.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll. Let's do all the things, get a good workout in. So super bullish on that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've got a few more stories to get to here, but before we get there, we need to talk about focus. And obviously, John at TRX is focused. But when it comes to SMS, there is no one more focused than Postscript. They are the only player in our entire ecosystem who will tell you our goal is to make SMS your #1 revenue generator. I remember when Alex Beller, president at Postscript, called me and told me that, Chris, we're trying to make SMS #1 for you. And it sounded a little crazy. I actually told him, are you sure you want to try and take that bet and make it happen? But I will tell you this. On average, when people move their SMS provider over to Postscript, plus 22% revenue increase for us at the time, it took us from a very low state where SMS was a complete afterthought. And within a year's time, we were a top 1% account on the entire Postscript platform, both qualitatively, quantitatively. What you should do is go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, and you should see for yourself my category, my size company, what's normal out there, what should I be doing, where is there opportunity to be had. I think we all want a few more dollars in our back pocket today, and Postscript is going to help you get there. Go talk to Postscript, tell them Chris and Colin sent you. You'll be glad that you did. Thanks to our partners at Postscript. Colin, there's a couple of things we should hit quick before we wrap up here. BNPL, not just for groceries, but for rent. Buy now, pay later, baby. It's not just Christmas presents anymore. And it's not just the grocery aisle at which Americans are using buy now, pay later. Affirm has officially released buy now, pay later for rent. I don't know that this makes me feel so comfortable. Perhaps when everything becomes financed, maybe nothing actually feels real anymore. What was your thoughts as you saw this on the timeline?
I saw this and I immediately thought of that Michael Burry meme where he's looking and he's like, where he's analyzing all the defaulted mortgages and he's like, there's a bubble. And I'm like, I saw this and I was like, this is a horrifying thing. We can't have this go mainstream. We can't have this be a thing. Let's not do this, please.
Yeah, let's not do this. I don't see how anybody ends up actually profiting from this. I see a lot of these not working out, not being paid, people having to leave, having to move out. I don't know that this is a win for the consumer or for the apartment provider, the home provider. I don't know who wins in this situation. I know that there's been growing use of it inside of our space from customers, but I'm not sure that this actually equals profit for anybody.
Yeah, this seems like a really easy way to absolutely decimate your credit. I don't know how all this is going to tie into it, but I do remember there was last Coachella, I think it was like 52% of those tickets were purchased with buy now, pay later. And so you kind of are like, hey, like, there's some things we shouldn't keep propping up. Like, if you can't afford it, maybe don't do the thing. And so, you get people getting into a really awkward situation where are getting a rent they can't afford. And then they're just like, oh, well, I can buy now, pay later on my rent. I can afford it. And so it's like, well, you can't really, you're just paying more interest on the whole bubble. I don't know. It scares me a little bit.
Yeah, consumers and businesses, they need to know their numbers. And I'm not sure that this actually equals profit in everyone's pocket. I don't see this as going well. I don't see it as a positive trend. And in the vein of everyone knowing their numbers, we need to talk about AMP. AMP. There's only one place in which inside of one dashboard, you can quickly and easily say, how is our business doing? If you can't answer that question right now in a sentence or two, when boss man or boss lady or a member of your team asks, hey, how are we trending toward forecast? What's our CAC? What's our LTV? If you can't answer that in a quick, easy, winsome, visually pleasing way, you need to go to useamp.com. Don't you want to scale with confidence in 2026? You guys know we've all been there. Everyone's got their sheets. Everyone's got their reports. All of the stats are scattered hither and thither across the organization. If you're not hard and fast sure of where you are today and where your business is going, you need to go to useamp.com and get on their platform. Personally, their favorite tool of mine is Lifetimely, but that's not all that they do. You should go to useamp.com, get yourself introed, demo the platform, see how it can be a win for you and your business and more profit in your back pocket. That's what we all need at the end of the day. Make sure that we have a business that's still running and growing. Thanks to our partners at AMP. Yeah, I truly believe BNPL. Oof, not good.
Scary.
Not good. Scary. Walmart had a big glow up. I think we need to move on for Walmart. Weight Watchers had a big glow up.
I know what you meant.
I think we need to move on from here for now, but I want to return to this one and talk about it another day. Before we leave, we need to look at this Dr. Pepper commercial. I loved this Dr. Pepper commercial.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo.
So this is the viral TikTok that got about 20 million impressions. Okay. This woman here, Romeo, I think she's in the Pacific Northwest. I'm not sure. She records this video and it goes absolutely bonkers on the platform. There's tons of people doing duets. There's people putting music behind it, etc. There is momentum, okay, organically, and Dr. Pepper's not paying for a dime of it. It's all just happening. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. And then they take this and they put it into their college football national championship ad that happened last night. This becomes their
Dr.
lead
Pepper,
ad.
baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Good and nice.
Okay. Wow. I loved that they incorporated this and used it, but my take is execution fell a little flat. I want to see this woman's face inside of the ad. I want to be able to visually make the connection. This happened online. I saw it. I laughed. Now I'm watching TV on a huge live moment for the entirety of the year. Not only do I hear that voice, but I see the TikTok. I wanted to see the woman on the ad. What's your thoughts on this happening, the execution, etc.?
This is perfect. And I think the fact that they didn't feature her directly, it's a little inside baseball where their kids or someone with them was like, oh, this is actually that girl from TikTok. I love this so much. We talked with TJ earlier on the show. He's talking about scrolling his timeline, finding people in the zeitgeist, in the now. This is exactly what they just did. They found the trend in the now. You grab that person, you incorporate that into a massive event, one of the most watched sports in the entire world. This is one of the best things I've seen probably all year. This is a absolute home run. Kudos to them. Kudos to their team. I also hope she got absolutely paid for this.
I hope she got paid.
I hope she got a bundle of money because she deserves it. And she just got them a bunch of views, also a bunch of great sentiment from the consumer. And to see this at a national level, this is awesome. This is how it should be done.
Kudos to the team at Dr. Pepper. They're heavily involved with college football all year long. They've got an entire series of ads that they run throughout the length of the college football season. I don't know what they had planned for the national championship, but I'm sure it was something large. And what it looks like here is they totally pivoted and featured this woman's jingle instead. I love that piece, and I hope she got paid a buku's amount of money. I still would have loved to see her face though. Or how about this? They show the ad and then they pan to her there at the game in the audience with everybody jamming to her song live inside the stadium. I think maybe a couple extra layers here could have even taken this further. But you know, sometimes your job's not to manufacture virality. Your job's just to capitalize on it. And
100%.
Dr. Pepper definitely did that. And if you hesitate, you lose the moment. You lose a moment you can't recreate. So kudos to them for being on the ball and being willing to pivot as things move forward. Well, many thanks to TJ and for John for joining the show today. I had a couple stories we couldn't get to, but we will get to them. Many thanks to Postscript and AMP for making this show possible. And there may be an exciting another name that we add to the show tomorrow. One couldn't say, but we shall see what happens tomorrow afternoon. It could be. Stay tuned. And thanks from Colin and I for joining us. Producer Carson, we wish you a happy Tuesday. Make it an awesome one.